The thing about YouTube is that people would go to extreme lengths to get views, including doing horrible, inhumane things. And the ones we consider may be a lot less innocent than we believe. A lot of your beloved YouTubers may actually have committed horrible things. Let us know if your favorite YouTuber is among these. Alright, let's get started with our countdown of 15 YouTubers who have done terrible things. Number 15. Logan Paul. Logan Paul's most real vlog he had ever posted on his channel is also one of the worst and most insensitive things he's ever done. So kicking off our list, and this only goes downhill from here, humanity-wise, is Logan Paul. Throughout his YouTube career, Logan Paul has already been wrapped up in controversies and feuds, mostly with his younger brother Jake. But he topped everything horrible Jake could ever do when he and his friends filmed a dead body when they went into Japan's suicide forest. They joked about the dead body and zoomed onto his hands and personal belongings. Number 14. Heather and Michael Martin. Abusing your kids for views is the worst of human being at play. This is what Maryland couple Heather and Michael Martin did for their controversial YouTube channel, Daddy05. Their content mostly consists of pranks that they made their 5 children go through. Their intent was to be funny, but these pranks ended up being downright cruel. They would destroy their children's belongings, yell at them, and swear at them until they cried. Their focus was mostly placed on their 2 youngest children, Emma and Cody, who were 11 and 9 years old. Their content was so harmful that viewers reported them for their abusive videos, and both parents pled guilty to 2 counts of misdemeanor child neglect. They lost custody of their children. Number 13. Andrew Scott Haley. There has to be a limit to how far these mystery and clue videos go. Andrew Scott Haley took things to another almost illegal level when he pretended to be a serial killer and gave false clues. This would have been bearable if it weren't for the fact that victims were real people who had tragically died. In this internet hoax, Andrew, or Catch Me Killer, claimed to have killed 16 people and gave clues about the murders, which included real-life disappearance of young girls and graphic details about them. The authorities got involved and he was arrested, accused of tampering with evidence and making false statements. He pled guilty and was found guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in a work release program. Number 12. Michael David Turley. Why do these YouTubers keep crossing the line between pranking and criminal acts? This next horrible act committed by a YouTuber is credited to the dumbest YouTuber ever, Michael David Turley, who filmed himself committing a crime that not only wasted the police's time, but was dramatically insensitive and traumatizing for those involved. 8 days after 12 people died at the hands of a gunman at the screening of The Dark Knight Rises, Turley made a video called Dark Knight Shooting Response Rocket Launcher Police Test. He had a 16-year-old boy dress up in a bedsheet and holding a fake rocket launcher walk around Phoenix as a test to how quickly the police would respond. It took 15 minutes, and they promptly arrested him. Number 11. Calvin Vale. Making fun of an autistic person and causing fans to send death threats and heinous messages to them is beyond terrible. Meet Calvin Vale, aka Leafy is Here, who in March of 2016 posted a reaction video to Tommy NC 2010, who has autism. Leafy proceeded to make fun of everything about Tommy, from his physical appearance to his vlogging persona. Hitler jokes were only the start of the offensive comments, and viewers couldn't watch past the "went through 5 different strokes" joke. As a response, Tommy NC 2010 posted a video in which he was upset and revealed he'd been struggling with weight issues and had a learning disability since he was young. Number 10. Roman Atwood. On a scale from getting authorities involved to posting racist comments, how high does brutally faking your son's death rank? They're all horrible acts. Roman Atwood repeatedly faked his son's death, both for views and to get a reaction out of his wife. The first time, he pretended to toss him over a balcony during a playful wrestling match. Of course, it was a dummy he'd thrown, but his wife rightfully freaked out. The next time, he put a dummy in his son's steed and drove the ATV off a ramp where it exploded in a fiery blaze. Number 9. Shane Dawson. The entire world is raging against Shane Dawson, and for a good reason. A long way from being the king of YouTube with his conspiracy theories and documentary series, Shane Dawson has had many people point out how past, as in the racial remarks he's regularly made, the offensive jokes, the blackface makeup he did, and crude jokes that are actually pedophilic in nature, despite him claiming that he was just joking. Number 8. TRISHA PAYTAS. Believing we don't really need gravity is a level of terribleness on its own, But when TRISHA PAYTAS faked a mental illness to start beef with a YouTuber who actually has that disorder is pretty messed up. TRISHA PAYTAS has always chased trending topics and got herself involved in fights that don't concern her. The most recent brawls involved TikTok stars Dixie and Charlie. PAYTAS also once and briefly went on to claim she was a trans man. She also claimed she had dissociative identity disorder and basically blamed a lot of the horrible things she did and said onto another personality of hers. Number 7. Brooke HOUTS. It's another level of evil when your abuse is focused on your pet. In August 2019, YouTuber Brooke HOUTS accidentally posted a video that featured a moment of her hitting her poor Doberman Sphinx. She also spat on him. The weirdest thing is after being investigated by the LAPD, she was cleared of all charges. Number 6. KANGHUA Ren. Meet KANGHUA Ren, also known as Reset, and as the guy who gave a homeless man Oreos with toothpaste inside instead of cream, causing that homeless man to vomit. KANGHUA Ren, who does things to give a show and believes that people like morbid things, took a suggestion from a clearly ill-intended fan to feed someone Oreos that had toothpaste inside. Before this video, Ren had over 1.2 million fans. Ren gave the Oreos to the homeless man, who absolutely looks grateful for the treat, and he filmed the man vomiting. Following this, the entire thing went to court. The judge said Ren's actions caused the man to be humiliated and were a criminal violation of the man's moral integrity. He ordered Ren to pay his victim over $22,300, shut down his YouTube channel, and shut down his social media channels for the next 5 years. Number 5. Nathan Bartling. Nathan Bartling, aka My Mate Nate, was a missionary who went on to live in Thailand. Where to even start with him? He's just an all-around horrible person, apparently. His awful acts include laying coins on a railroad track to flatten, which he was arrested for. He was also charged with trespassing, railway obstruction, and damaging railway property. Nathan's content features malicious content like laughing while watching a cat fight and be stung by a scorpion, as well as filming and tying a cat to a hot air balloon. A lot of people in Thailand petitioned for him to be kicked out of the country. Number 4. Sam Pepper. Sam Pepper often crossed the line more than he didn't when it came to his prank videos. His YouTube channel was more like an outlet for his psychosocial experiments. One of his most terrible acts was the time he actually kidnapped a friend, stuffed him into the trunk of his car, tied him to a chair on a rooftop, held a gun to his head, and made him watch as he pretended to murder another friend in front of him, while the kidnapped kid cried and screamed to be spared. Following this video, over 100,000 people signed a petition for Sam Pepper to be banned from YouTube. Number 3. Austin Jones. If you have ever heard Austin Jones' voice as he performed a cappella covers of songs from Justin Bieber and Fall Out Boy, you never would have guessed the evil person beneath.
For all the times that you rain on my parade.
Jones took advantage of his younger demographic. He convinced 2 underage teenage girls to send him sexually explicit stuff. And when one of the girls told him she was his biggest fan, he told her to prove it, and said that if she was lucky, she could get physical with him. To think that he had over 500,000 subscribers. Number 2. Daniel KEEM. Daniel KEEM, also known as Keemstar on his YouTube channel Drama Alert, is known to provide coverage of YouTube drama and feuds. He's also known for being, well, a horrible and mean person. He once encouraged his fans to write racial slurs in his comments, said he hated his fan base, and more. But none of these moments compared to the time he started a manhunt for a man he accused of being a pedophile. The man was actually innocent. Probably without doing any research, KEEM found a man by the same name as this pedophile and said his name on air. Turns out the real pedophile he was looking for was already in prison, and an innocent man's life was ruined. Number 1. MONALISA PEREZ. This is downright the worst thing a YouTuber has done. This is barely in the same leagues as the rest of this video. For our number 1 spot of a YouTuber who's done horrible things, we have MONALISA PEREZ, who killed her boyfriend. In this sinister incident, MONALISA PEREZ and her boyfriend Pedro Ruiz planned to rise to YouTube stardom by making dangerous videos. Their genius idea, having Ruiz hold up a book in front of his chest as Perez shot him. They thought the book could stop the bullet. It didn't. Ruiz died. Later, Perez would say that the idea was his, not mine. And that's all the horrible YouTubers who have done horrible things that we have for you today. Did we mention one of your favorite YouTubers? Are you shocked by the things they have done? Let us know. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and before you go, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to Weeklypedia and click that notification bell to be alerted whenever we upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.